Good morning or afternoon, ladies. It's Dr. Carol Lourie, and I am here with Laura Coleman Waite, who is an exercise specialist for women. And notice her shirt says Girl Power. So it's all about recovering our energy and our body alignment. And Laura, welcome, and thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be a part of your fantastic program. What an
Thank you.
amazing program.
So why don't you give a little introduction about your area of expertise and the way you see women and their body movement? I think that's really important for all of us.
So usually when I have clients, they will come to me and they have done a lot of what Western medicine, for instance, has to offer. So they have done the physical therapy, they've rested, they've tried ibuprofen, they've even tried surgery. And usually at that point, things haven't worked. Sometimes it does, but a lot of times it doesn't. And then they'll start expanding out. So then they try acupuncture, they'll try rolfing, they'll
When they
try.
come to me, that's when they come
Yeah,
to me.
and that's when they come to you. Exactly, because they've done what, the traditional Western experience has been. And you and I think, are in very similar boats. I get the clients that have the inconclusive MRIs, that they can tell you that it hurts like heck, but nobody can tell them why. And I think a lot of that goes back to the fact that muscles, which can be, muscles move our bones. Muscles are the big culprits, but nobody talks about muscle balance. Nobody's really heavily schooled in muscles and how they work and how you need to have, if one on one side of the body is really strong, then the other side, just by nature of its relationship, is knocked out of the picture. That's just reciprocity. If you bring your hand up to your shoulder, your bicep's going to contract, your tricep has to relax. If you carry small children for 10 years and pick up the groceries and pick up the dog food and pick up all the things, then those biceps get really strong. Your triceps don't have a shot. They don't. And then you think about all the forward thing because of how modern life is with lots of computer and lots of driving and
And
lots
then
of
what
sitting.
has to happen to a woman's body when her breasts are removed?
Oh, and then you complicate things further with trying to heal from a very, very scary, as you know, situation. And again, if you are busy trying to heal from that and get all the other things in your program in line, the eating and the sleep and
Supplements.
the supplements and all the things that you have to dial in. And you said it takes 66 days to create a new habit. I'd heard 21 days and I was like, oh no, the research has changed. It's 66 days.
That's more like 66 to 100 days. Yes. And habits are activities that we do without even thinking about them, right? I mean, you wake up in the morning, you go into the kitchen. Unfortunately, most people start their coffee or whatever it is. That's not the way to begin your day, everyone.
No.
Not the way I recommend anyway. Go ahead, Linda. Laura.
No. I agree. And that also plays into how muscles work, because muscles get into habits and muscles develop patterns of behaviors. And in my experience, the research I've read says that if you learn to do something so that you can do it without thinking about it, it takes 200 or 300 repetitions of that particular activity. And then your brain can move on and it's busy doing other things. So if you learn that activity wrong, like you learn your tennis serve wrong, or you learn your pickleball serve wrong, or whatever, then guess how many repetitions it takes to relearn it?
More. I think more. It takes more to relearn than it does to learn properly in the first place, right?
10 times 2,000 to 3,000 repetitions. So a client of mine did the math on that. She said, so let me get this straight. If I have to do this particular activity 2,000 to 3,000 times before my brain can relearn this new nerve pathway or this learned movement, then I have to do it about 40 times for about 6 months a day. And I said, is that the math? Okay. So it takes some doing.
Let's talk about like very practical things for women as they are recovering their health through their breast cancer journey.
Yes.
What are some things women can do right away?
So one thing that I love in particular is to take 2 tennis balls and put them in a sock. In this case, I found this cute fabric that has smiley faces on it. So I take it, and let's say you're sitting in the couch and your shoulder or your chest is really tight and really sore. You can take that tennis ball and you put it behind your shoulder. So up and down this.
If you can't reach back like this, ladies, you can ask your partner to help you with this, because a lot of women post-mastectomy do not have this ability. So
Right.
we have to remember it's great to ask for help. And if it's not your partner, you can have a friend come over who's visiting you and take the tennis balls and a sock and then show what do we need to do with these.
So even if you didn't happen to have anybody around, all you would need to do, and I'm just going to back up and pretend the wall is my couch. So I would put it.
If it's not the couch, it can be the wall, because sometimes the couch is too soft and isn't going to get you what you need, right?
Absolutely. You can do it in bed. You can do it in the car. You can do it anywhere that you have the ability to just sort of lean back and put some pressure on it. So the tennis balls go here. And what that does is just opens up that shoulder in a very small, gentle way, which is
and you want
not
to breathe into it while you're doing it, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lots of times when I have clients that have a lot of anxiety or a lot of pain, it turns out there's this really neat book out by James Nestor by the name of Breath. And in it, he talks about the fact that the right nostril is associated with the sympathetic nervous system. So the fight or flight, the get jacked up, let's work out, let's digest, let's do all the things that require a lot of up, 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 up. And the left side is the nostril that's associated with the opposite, the parasympathetic nervous system. So if you're feeling anxious or if you're having a lot of pain and you need to just breathe into it, I often close my right nostril and I'll only breathe on the left side. That doesn't take any fancy equipment. That doesn't take any doing. You just have to know left side versus right side. That's true for when I can't sleep in the middle of the night. I'll close my right nostril and sometimes I'll go and I'll realize the left side has gotten blocked for some reason. I've got a stuffy nose just on the left side. So then I'll roll on my right side, clear it, and then close the right nostril again, and then breathe through the left side, calm back down, and then get back to sleep. So that left-right nostril trick, one of my favorites.
I just wrote that in the chat for everyone to see. That's really wonderful. Do you want to give another tip? These are very helpful.
Yes, absolutely. So another thing that I love, if you happen to have one around the house, is a foam roller. This is a 1-foot foam roller, and this one happens to be hollow. So the reason I like that it's hollow is that it's easy to travel with. So if you have to go somewhere, you can stuff your shoes in here. You can stuff a wine bottle in here. Like there's things.
It's not too heavy to pick up. And we're not stuffing wine bottles. It's not too heavy to pick up. And you can easily order this on Amazon, ladies, right? It's not expensive. So you're going to want to get a hollow foam roller. And then what are we doing with it?
So that's another thing that you can put behind your back. So when I posted a video to YouTube and it got a ton of views and the title of the video was How to Read Comfortably in Bed. So all I did was take this half foam roller and I put it behind my back and I leaned back. So again, you can put it in your bed and then turn around and put it behind you. So you're not having to lift your arm up and over. You can just put it behind you and then lean back into it. I'll do it sitting in the couch. I've driven with it. I don't really recommend that. That's not as comfortable. The tennis balls work much better for that. The airplane works great for the tennis balls. Yeah. So those are, and you can also use the roller as a rolling pin. So let's say your knees are feeling a little sore. Well, in my world, if someone tells me that their knees are sore, I say, well, there's these big, strong quad muscles. There's 4 of them on the fronts of the thighs. What have you done for those muscles lately? Have you stretched them? Have you rolled them? So you can use this as a rolling pin too. So you can sit if you wanted to, and you could put the roller on your leg and just roll it this way.
This is great.
If that's something that because here's the thing, these muscles are on the front of the body and they get used all the time, and they tend to get really tight really fast because most people walk straight ahead and most people use these muscles sort of by default. So these muscles get really tight. If you don't have a foam roller, guess what you can use?
I'd give up.
Rolling pin. You can just go to the kitchen, grab your rolling pin, put it on your leg, and just use it to kind of massage the muscle on your leg.
I think these foam roller things are a really good investment. I can't imagine it being more than $10, but women have knee and joint pain all the time as one of the side effects from tamoxifen, especially aromatase inhibitors. So movement, as an acupuncturist, ladies, movement breaks up stagnation. And when you break up stagnation, you have less pain, because pain, one of the areas of pain is stuck energy, or where your river is not able to flow smoothly. So doing these little simple, I wouldn't even say exercises, there's self-care movements that Laura is recommending, is super easy. You could be watching a nice television program and rolling away on your quads. And, you know, in bed, you could be doing this. And I think this roller thing is worth an investment. You can go on Amazon. I can't imagine it being that much. But here's the secret. If you buy it, I really want you to use it. Because we all have this tendency to, oh, this looks great, I'm just going to buy this. And the next thing you know, it sits there, right? Gathering dust. It's sort of like the supplements, which is why I have a supplement trick that I use to help women make them part of your life instead of running your life. You need to use this beautiful little tool because it's a tool. And especially what happens when you have mastectomy and surgery, your body goes into this automatic tightness. And even with the tennis balls, you're loosening up your muscles. They compensate for the trauma in your back. And they get all tight. So when you do what Laura's suggesting, and I like this little foam thing, it's big, it's light, you don't have to, it's not hard to pick it up. It doesn't take up a lot of space in your life, in your living room or your bedroom, and you can just use it to keep that energy moving in your back muscles and your leg, and also your bottoms of your legs, as well as your front. And you can put it between your thighs and then put some pressure between it, right? To get a different set of muscles going.
Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely. There you can, if you're feeling brave, you can get down on the floor and also use it on the floor. And as you get down on the floor, that you're using now your body weight to put some pressure on it. And sometimes I have clients who do use their foam roller pretty frequently. And I say, okay, fantastic. And they'll say, foam rollers, you know, what's the big deal? And I'll say, hang on. Have you tried? So you can roll with what I call the grain of the muscle. So up and down, or you can go across the grain. And I have not met anybody in 25 years who I've suggested the cross grain technique to that hasn't gone, there is some
also your butt muscles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So if you're going to get down on the floor, you can very gently just come on down to the floor, and you can put that roller underneath that quad, and you can roll up and down with
See that, ladies? This is great. This is great.
Up and down. Or if you can't feel a lot of tightness there, which is possible.
I can't imagine not feeling tightness. We all have tightness. I mean, really, unless we're in the gym and doing marathons, everybody's, even if you're doing that, you're going to have tightness there, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, absolutely. So the cross fiber would be across this direction, this way. Or if you've got a spot that's so incredibly tight, I call it the lazy girl way to get a muscle to relax. I just collapse all the way down onto the floor and just stay on that spot. And there's a magic number. It's 90 seconds. So that's the magic neuromuscular release and reset point. You want to hang in there for 90 seconds. Otherwise, the muscle can try and contract because it doesn't know if you're in danger. It doesn't know if you're being chased by a lion. And you just have to say, no, no, no. We're not being chased by a lion. It's all right. You can let go.
That's wonderful. Notice that her roller has these little ridges on it, which I think is a really important component of it. So you don't want to get one that's small, that's smooth. You want to look on Amazon and go foam roller with ridges and hollow foam roller with ridges. And
Yeah.
is there a name on that foam roller?
This happens to be a TP therapy roller.
TP therapy roller. Okay.
Yes, but there are other hollow foam rollers out there. And if you're afraid of the bumps, you can start with a smooth one and then move into it, because there are a lot of theories on foam rollers and there's a lot of foam rollers out there, but I'd rather you do something rather than nothing. And you could just use your tennis balls for that matter. You don't even have to
A
get
lot of people don't have tennis balls in their house. I mean, if you don't play tennis and you don't have children, why are you having tennis balls? I don't have tennis balls in my house. So let's just, instead of buying tennis balls, let's just go buy a therapy foam roller and just get the right thing once and then have it.
Yes.
Do you have a free guide or anything that my community can access? And I'm not going to be able to put it here, but I will put it in the post on the Facebook page and the Facebook group for a link.
Yes,
from Laura.
I had a client who was a thoracic surgeon, and she had a neck thing, and her arm was partially numb for a while and her shoulder blade was compromised. So we worked through that, and she said, I really wish that you could make me a quick little intro to what you had me do and what you would have my patients do. So she actually asked me to make one out of the longer foam roller. So here's the 3-foot foam roller, and here's the 1-foot foam roller. So the first free gift that I have for your group is the 4 exercises that I showed her on how to get onto the long foam roller and do it. And one of the tips that I have for breast cancer survivors in particular is to use little pillows. Here in Oregon, there's a group called Breast Friends, and they
yes, we have them. Yes.
So they give pillows for elbows. You could use a stuffed animal. There isn't anything fancy about it. I found some boxes that are about that height. So when you get on your foam roller, if it feels like from the floor, from your shoulder down to the floor is too far, because that stretches through that pec too much, then all you do is take your box or your stuffed animal and you elevate your elbows a little bit.
See, this is a really good tip, because if your shoulder is very traumatized and tense from the surgery, you can't lay flat, I think is the correct English, on the floor with your hand out. So getting, one of your grandkids or a pillow from your sofa to put it on the floor and support your arm is really key. Now, I know that I can hear it in your brain, ladies. You're sitting there and you're going, this is a pain in the neck. I don't want to get on the floor. That is your voice, the negative voice that you have that's keeping you from recovering your health. So you don't want to say to that voice, shut up, because you don't want to talk like that to yourself. You want to say to that little voice, thanks for sharing, but I'm not paying attention to you. I am going to get my foam roller. I am going to take a pillow from the sofa, and I am going to get on the floor. And consistency is the key. Dedicate yourself to 10 minutes of this in the beginning, the same time every day, no matter what. You're on the floor with your foam roller and your pillow, and put on some nice soothing music and do this as a gift to yourself. This is part of self-care, and it really adds up, because think about what happens in your back muscles and your shoulder muscles when you've had traumatic surgery. Yes. And even under the best of circumstances, a mastectomy is traumatic surgery. So this is really important for you all.
Yes. And here's the thing. If there's anybody else in your house that has any sort of neck, headache, jaw, migraines, sinus, rotator cuff, elbow stuff, wrist stuff, the 3-foot long foam roller is magic. It's just magic. Some people, you'll get the exercises that I suggest, or at least the beginning of the exercises that I suggest. But even if you were to just lie there and let gravity work its magic, there's a lot to be said for gravity. So the 10 minutes that Dr. Carol suggests, brilliant. That's a great place to start. That is such a good place to start.
That's wonderful. And this is a great place to stop. Ladies, Laura, thank you so much for this. And Laura and I will be in touch. I will put all of her little gifts on the Facebook page, the Facebook group with the post and the interview. This is really important. And I love that you shared this knowledge with my community. And just pay attention to that little voice, ladies. Don't let it just keep you from getting on the floor. Okay? Have a lovely afternoon, everyone. It was great to hang out with you. It's Carol Lourie signing off for now, and there'll be more later. Bye for now.